This video is going to be a mix of a challenge video and a Wi-Fi battle. This is me going around to dens, catching the first 6 Pokemon that I find, and then that's what I have to use on my team. So essentially I have no control of what my team is other than their spreads and moves. I have to work with what I get. So I end up getting an Eldegoss, Bronzor, Snorlax, Unfezant, a Corviknight, and the last guy, Lantern. Not trying to go too far down the rabbit hole here, I really don't want to get too invested with this team because a few of them really aren't worth the time of day. Unfezant is something else. It has a terrible move pool and really isn't too good, unfortunately. Bronzor is, well, Bronzor. It's not quite Bronzong. It will do the same job for the most part, but its attacking stats aren't really good. And to hyper train that would be getting it to level 100 and stopping it from ever being able to evolve, which is not something that I really want. So unfortunately for him, he's running with all of his kind of just IV spread that he had originally. He's EV trained, but really just is what he was. Lantern and Corviknight were things that I knew I was going to have in the future. I have to finish working on this Eldegoss, which I decided to make an Assault Vest. It's really bulky and it has regenerators, so I just figured it would be pretty solid with the Assault Vest. And it also has a really shallow move pool, which is not too great. And then last we have Curslax, which is just straight up, you know what it does. And it is going to be hopefully my ideal Pokemon to Gigantamax during this battle. Now I know that Gigantamax is banned by Smogon, but we're not necessarily going off of Smogon rules here. So I'm not sure what Marco's going to want to lead off with here, but I decide Bronzor is probably just my best bet because I have Rocks and Trick Room and Hypnosis and also Confuse Ray, so I can use a lot of those moves against a lot of the leads and see what happens. He goes with Grimmsnarl. He has a lot of doubles Pokemon, so everything here on his team is probably made for VGC stuff, not singles battling. So Marco, thank you for putting up with my crap for my video and allowing me to have a singles battle with you. Anywho, he sets up Reflect turn 1, and then on turn 2 he sets up Light Screen, and I'm thinking, wow, in Trick Room, he's outspeeding me. That's a weird speed to he's got Prankster. Crap. So I put him to sleep. Now, what I should have done was Hypnosis turn 1, Stealth Rock turn 2, and then gone for the Trick Room turn 3. But obviously out of order, I finally get a Brox as he switches into Rhydon. Now right here he's actually going to go ahead and Dynamax super early, which I think was probably the downfall for him. He should have saved it for one of his Pokemon that would set up on me. I understand that Bronzor is probably really weird and defensive, and he's probably thinking that I'm going to try and Hypnosis him here, but I'm playing by normal rules, so I'm only going to put one of his Pokemon to sleep. As I actually go for Confuse Ray, though, but he doesn't get confused, which sucks. He goes for Max Quake and does a lot, gets the special defense boost, so this thing's even tankier. Honestly, though, Rhydon probably not a bad Pokemon overall to Dynamax, because with a Violite, it's super tanky to begin with. It gets boosts in its defenses from its attacks, and it really needs the extra attack output. I switched into Corviknight, expecting him to either go for another Max Quake or the Rock one, which he does go for Max Quake, so I avoid it altogether, but I knew Corviknight should be able to take it either way. Right here, I decided to go for a Bulk Up. 1, because I know that I'm faster than it, and 2, I don't think it can easily one-shot or two-shot me, which it can't, and this is its last turn. So now I'm sitting pretty with a Bulk Up Corviknight. I decided to go for another one because now he really can't do much to me offensively, as he actually goes for Stone Edge and hits, which actually does a pretty sizable chunk after +2. Yeah, that was actually pretty solid. I go for Iron Head, and I'm like, wow, that did nothing. And then I see Reflect Wars off, and I'm like, I forgot about that. Crap, I even wrote it down. How did I forget? Right here I'm debating, do I Dynamax? Do I just start going offensive? If I Dynamax, I'm below half health, but I'll have the extra health from Dynamaxing. What do I do? I decide to go, I guess, for the Body Press, as he actually goes out to Gyarados. Oh, I went for the Iron Head. So, it's resisted either way. That's not really good for me. You know, it's whatever, but he takes Stealth Rock, he takes the +2 attack. He's in Sandstorm, and I know I can take anything from him. He goes down to a Drill Peck, no problem. So one of his setup water types that I'm really afraid of, I don't have to deal with anymore, and that's fantastic. Gyarados and Cloyster were really my reasons for not Dynamaxing anytime early on, because in case they were setting up on me, I would have to Dynamax one of my guys just to deal with it. And it comes Quagsire, I'm not expecting much. Maybe it's going to be able to deal with me, but his Scald doesn't do much because I'm actually specially defensive. And I failed to 2-hit KO him, which kind of sucks, but it's not the end of the world, as I have a free switch into whatever I want to go with here. So I decide that I'm going to go with Unfezant because I have a really stupid set on this, as you can see. It's got Brave Bird Facade because this thing has no moves. Sub and Roost. And I was originally going to give this a Life Orb, but I completely forgot, thinking that, hey, I have Substitute, I should probably put lefties on it. Yeah, whatever. He goes for Yawn, which is actually really perfect for me, because I was like, well, if he breaks the sub, then he breaks the sub, then I'll just kill him on the next turn, whatever, no big deal. But him yawning actually just let me set up, which is perfect, because again, Unfezant is total garbage. It really is. It has the worst move pool I've ever seen, and trying to work with it was, I don't know, like you just go Roost and Brave Bird. What else do you get? Quick Attack, that's not really too strong. Hyper Beam, what? So I had to go with Facade, and the whole thing is just awkward. Pokemon, put Return back in, please. Cloyster comes out. I'm afraid. Just straight up, I'm switching out. I cannot do anything to it offensively. I don't know what it's going to do, and he actually protects. And this is kind of where the Devil's movesets, I'm assuming, are coming in. So I get a free switch into Lantern, which is perfectly a-okay by me. And I like, if it Shell Smashes, it dies. If it switched out, that's fine. I just go for the T-Bolts, so it's a dead Cloyster, which is great, and now I don't have to worry about it sweeping me, potentially. So, freely being able to Dynamax at this point, I'm guessing I'm going to try and just prevent myself from dying to Dracovish, because that thing's super scary, but he brings in Rhydon, but I know I outspeed this thing, no problem, and Scald's going to take it out. I understand the thought process there. You know, maybe he'd be able to take the hit, or I mean, I don't know. Probably not going to be able to take the hit, but yeah, I understand the process. Try and get off Earthquake on me, because I'm probably defensive. So I go for a Thunder Wave on his Dracovish. I was honestly expecting to see the Fishious Rend. I know that I resisted, but that thing is really freaking powerful. So I don't have to worry about this thing outspeeding me and doing lots of damage with Fishious Rend now. So that's great. I go for some T-Bolts because it's really just the best thing that I can go for here. It's going to do the most damage, and it's fine. It's not really doing a whole lot to Dracovish because he's actually got really good stats overall, and he's very powerful enough to just even take me out with Crunch. I decided to go to my Snorlax at this point because he only has 2 Pokemon left, and they're both crippled. I'm thinking that I'll just Dynamax and go for G-Max Replenish, and probably one-shot both of them at this point. So that is going to be the game. Thank you again, Marco, for having the battle with me. We did have a doubles battle afterwards where it's an entirely different story overall. So you'll be able to see that video very shortly as I get around to that, probably next. But yeah, no, this was an interesting one. It was really difficult trying to come up with movesets for these guys, like Eldegoss, without having to do weird breeding shenanigans with it to give it moves from another one. The whole thing's weird. But I also had to go with a Snorlax that I already had because I didn't catch the one in the wild, and then I had to do a bunch of other stuff. But if you want to check out that stuff, things going to be in the description. If you want to go check out that video, you can see me catch all those Pokemon. Anyway, thank you so much for watching. Like, comment, subscribe, and I'll see you next time.